guys, it's Anissa. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing a very long awaited and overdue video. I'm doing my Shop My Stash for the month of September. I did not do one for July or August, and I usually do these videos every month. I use these videos to kind of talk to you guys what my life is like outside of YouTube, things that are going on with me. I like for you guys to know who I am completely, not just who I am when I'm talking about makeup, because there is so much more to me, and I want you guys to feel like you know me. Also wanted to quickly mention all of the products that I used in today's video will be linked down in the description box for you guys. If you guys are interested to see how we came up with this very chaotic makeup look, then make sure to keep on watching. But before you go any further, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I post on this channel every 4 days, so you never have to miss me for too long. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. This is the new filming area. If you follow my TikTok, you've probably seen a little bit more than what you have on here, and even my beauty Instagram. I am going to be doing a beauty room tour very soon, so I don't want to give away too much. The desk is a little bit smaller than my last one, which I honestly like because it forces me to use the products that are already in here. Concealer, foundation, primer, smaller eyeshadow palettes. This stuff never leaves. It's like my mixing palette, loose powder to set my primer, and then I have like these hue shifters. Those never leave. I also have e.l.f. eye tapes underneath here. This never moves. These are just dirty sponges. Back there I have the palettes that I'm using. This is all like mascara, pot concealer, primer, pot eyeshadows, anything like that. These are lip products, powders, and then cheek products. I actually went through and reorganized my drawers. Here is the high-end primer drawer, and then here is the drugstore primer drawer. Looks like I only have 3 primers, so I like to keep at least one hydrating one and one mattifying one. I already know the hydrating one I'm going to use. MILANI Chill Out Soothing Primer. Oh my gosh, I like this so much better than I expected to. I just tried it in a full face using Milani makeup. This stuff feels so amazing on the skin. I'm trying to use things that I don't really use a whole lot of. I'm going to use this Rare Beauty. This is the Pore Diffusing Primer. I'm actually gonna pull 4. I'm gonna do 2 hydrating primers. The other one I want to use is this Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. Really have not used a whole lot of that. I really don't use this Fenty Beauty one a whole lot though, so I'm going to go ahead and use this Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. Next, I am going to do eyeshadow primers. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys. If I feel like I didn't use a product enough, I will go ahead and keep it and use it a little bit more, but I actually got really good use out of both of the eyeshadow primers that I had. Definitely want to try this NYX Proof It waterproof eyeshadow primer a little bit more. I've only tried that once. The only high-end eyeshadow primers I have are the P. Louise bases, and I already know that I like those. I think I'm actually going to use 3. I want to use this Milani eyeshadow primer a little bit more, and then also this is an older product, and I was actually going to get rid of it. It was in a full face of products I'm getting rid of, and I actually saved it, so I'm going to see if it lived up to the lifesaver. The last time I pulled my foundations, these are what I used. I have not been doing my makeup really at all. The only one that I've really gotten to try and used more than 3 times was this Juvia's Place foundation stick. I love this for carving out the brows, but everything else I'm going to keep, and the only thing that I'm replacing it with is this Milk Makeup. This is also a foundation stick, and this is in the color Praline. This is primers and foundations. Next, this is the concealer drawer. I honestly have not used any of these concealers enough. That's the reason I pull stuff, is because I feel like I haven't used it enough. So I'm going to keep all my concealers, but I have used this pot concealer a crap ton. And I also had the NARS Soft Matte in there, but I pulled it. It's in another bin for a video right now. I'm just replacing it with this Laura Mercier concealer and then this Bare Minerals concealer. So those are the 2 that are going to go in there. Next is loose powders. I'm going to go ahead and put these 3 powders back because I've used all of them plenty. And I'm honestly not going to replace just using these 2, 4, 5. I found that if I give myself too many options, I'll find one option that I like and not use anything else. Next is cheek products. I have actually used the crap out of all 2, 4, 5 of these. These are the 3 products that I'm keeping. I don't really wear a lot of bronzer, so I decided to go ahead and keep those 2. And then this highlighter palette from Makeup Revolution X Stove. I want to use this a little bit more. For cream bronzer, I'm going to use this Huda Beauty Tantour Contour. So I'm going to go ahead and use that for my cream. I haven't used this ABH one a whole lot. It's a loose highlighter in the color Vegas. Definitely going to pull these 2. These are the Milani cream blushes. This powder one, also something that's newer. I'm looking in here, and I actually want to do like a full face of products that I forgot, because I mean, you guys can see these drawers are just getting very, very full. Next is lip products. So out of everything that I had, these are the 4 that I feel like I know how I feel about them. We have a liquid lipstick, lip gloss, all these lip liners I need to try still, and then this lipstick. I honestly probably won't even replace any of these again. I'm just trying to force myself to use some of these products. Although I do need a chapstick, e.l.f. Ride or Die Lip Balm, Mighty Mint. Last thing before eyeshadow palettes. So again, I told you guys this is my like eye drawer. So I'm gonna keep both of these mascaras. I still have not used this liquid shadow or this pot shadow a whole lot. I use these 3 brow pencils a lot, and then I just love these. So I wanna go ahead and rotate it out for something else. These Charlotte Tilbury Brow Cheat. And then this pencil is from LA Girl. For my little eyeshadow palette, Ofra Cosmetics, really basic. So that is going to replace those 2 e.l.f. ones. Next is eyeshadow palettes. Keep this California Love palette down here because I feel like I really didn't get a whole bunch of use out of it. Give this Tartelette, this is the In Bloom palette, super pretty. You guys have not seen yet on this channel. If you want to see me create a look with this, I did a video dedicated to it on my TikTok. This is the Makeup Revolution, like the coffee palette. Just for a little overview, this is what it's looking like. A lot less makeup than what I used to have. If you guys saw my old Shop My Stashes, I'm hoping that next time we do this video, I can clear everything out and pick out everything brand spanking new. Let's go ahead and chit chat and do some makeup. I feel like I haven't sat down and done chit chat, get ready with me. You know, I go back and forth on if I want to incorporate my brows in these videos because it takes me forever. I feel like I spend so long on my eyebrows and then I talk, and then by the time I'm done with my eyebrows, I have nothing else to talk about. I think this is the first Shop My Stash I've done in the new apartment, because when I moved in June, I had already switched out my makeup for what I wanted to use for July because I moved at the end of June. And then August, I think I was trying to play catch up with videos. I think that moving out has been so good for me because it has really taught me that my mental and physical health is so important. I saw a quote the other day and it was so spot on. We live in our head all of our lives, so make sure that your head is a good place to live. And I think that sometimes we try to distract ourselves with other things in life. That way we can kind of escape our head, and then when you know you get that quiet time, it can almost be scary because you have nothing to do other than think. It's been so long, I can't remember what all I've told you guys, so I'm sorry if I repeat some of this. I've always kind of had back problems and neck problems, especially since I started doing CNA work. It's very hard on the body. It was to the point, it was so excruciating, like I could not function. And that's the type of person I am. I'm not as proactive in situations as I wish I was. I'm kind of more reactive. And then I freak out at the last minute because I'm like, I need help, I don't know what to do. So I finally went to the doctor and she put me on meds. I still take them, but I feel like they're really not helping me. The thing that has helped me the most has been going to physical therapy, which I actually put off for I think 2 months. So I started going and it's been like the best thing that has ever happened to me. It has helped with my pain so much. I have been going twice a week. I've been doing stretches every day at home. It's helped me to manage my pain a lot more than anything else has. And that's why I say I feel like the medicine really doesn't do much compared to the physical therapy. Physically, I've been feeling a lot better. A lot of trauma from my past job that I didn't realize I had. Like, have you guys ever gone through something and you don't realize the effect it has on you until afterward? Like, that's what kind of happened. I've been going to therapy, and the main reason I really started going was because I forget the name of it, but she said it's called like caregivers trauma, and a lot of healthcare workers have it, and it's the reason that healthcare workers burn out so quickly. It's not talked about. Like, mental health is something that is really not talked about a whole lot, in my opinion, as much as it should be, and there's not enough emphasis on it, especially in school. My caregiver's trauma, whatever, I'm not like trying to diagnose myself or whatever, but she just said that what I was describing to her, that's what it sounded like, was so bad that I started to have not nightmares, but night terrors. And if you've never heard of what a night terror is, it's pretty much like a nightmare on steroids. So ever since I've been going to therapy, I really do not have dreams like that anymore. She had me journaling for a little bit, and I don't know if it was really helping or not, but really like my main issue was that, you know how I said sometimes we try to keep ourselves so busy that way we don't have to focus on what's going on in our own heads. Like, that's kind of what happened. And so she was like, you know, whether it be journaling or something, you just need to learn how to process your emotions. So the reason she said I was having all these night terrors was because I would have all these emotions during the day and I wasn't able to process them. Well, your brain has to rationalize what you're feeling in some way. So the way my brain did that was through these awful nightmares that I was having. But I don't think it's been the journaling. I think it's just the fact that, you know, when I'm feeling something in the moment, I try to cope with how I'm feeling. I try not to suppress it. I've been trying to just let myself feel my feelings. I'm genuinely so much happier and I feel just so in touch with myself. The only reason I was scared to move out was because I was having these night terrors at home. So I was like, oh my gosh, are gonna become 20 million times worse now that I'm out on my own. It's not that they became worse, they just didn't stop. And then, you know, being in this new environment, didn't necessarily get lonely, and I've never felt lonely. I don't really miss my house as much as I thought I would. I more so miss my parents and my sister. And I get to see them all the time. So it's just been a really like nice, healthy balance, I think. Work has been challenging, but okay. I think that this new job has really helped me discover a lot about myself and what's important. You know, I'm there to work and take care of people. I'm not there to, you know, hear about who's sleeping with who and who's doing what outside of work. And like I said, I just found that, you know, being so enthralled in other people's lives and the drama, it's all a distraction. All of it is a distraction, and in the bigger picture, it does not matter. I really have to give a lot of credit to my new job and, you know, the new work environment for the person that I am becoming. And am I perfect? No, but I don't think anybody's perfect. I don't think we're meant to be perfect. I was working 3 8-hour shifts a week. So I would do Wednesday, Thursday, and then every other weekend, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, school just started about 2 weeks ago, and I figured that it would be a good idea to maybe switch to 12-hour shifts. So instead of doing 3 8-hour shifts, I do 2 12s. So I really am there one less day a week, which has worked out actually really, really well. The shifts are long, but it's worth it to me because I also make more money than I was, and I'm working the same amount of hours only because I work 6 a to 6 p. So from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. I get shift diff. I'm making more money than I was, and it's the same amount of hours. And then it's nice because so I work every Wednesday and then every other weekend. So like it's my weekend off right now. So when I don't have to work the weekend, I have 6 days off. So it's really, really nice, especially for school. Like I don't feel so suffocated with schoolwork. And you know, it's crazy what one day's difference makes. School has started and I'm trying to kind of like get in my routine for that. So just trying to figure out, you know, what each day looks like. I've been trying to wake up at least like 8 or 9 on my days off. That way I can get a head start to my day. I'm just one of those people, and let me know if you're this way also. If I wake up past 11, I feel like my day's ruined, my day's over. I'm like, I might as well just stay in bed all day because there's no point in me getting up. Like, I'm just one of those people. I don't think I could wake up any earlier than that because on the days that I do work, I have to be up at 4:35. College is definitely a lot different than high school. And honestly, I think that in a lot of ways, and let me know like what your high school experience was like, I feel like high school really did not prepare me for college. What prepared me for college was taking college classes in high school. You know, there's just no comparison. It's like oil and water. I've always been like very responsible and self-sufficient. The biggest thing for me has been my education is in my hands. Like my teachers aren't gonna chase me if I don't do my homework. And you know, like having to keep up with all your assignments. Like not every teacher is going to remind you of all the assignments that you have to do. But I will say, I feel like the one thing that I appreciate about it the most is that it's not busy work. I feel like everything I'm doing is so supplemental and it makes me happy that I'm learning, although it is a lot of work. It's really more so, I think, more reading. In high school, you go 8 hours a day for 5 days a week. You don't do that for college. So it's a lot of really more so what you're doing outside of the class. Mondays, I go from 2:30 to 6:45 p.m. And then Tuesdays, I go just 1 to 2:15. Wednesdays, I don't go at all because I work. Thursdays, I go 10 a.m. to 2:15 p.m. And then Fridays, I don't go. Because I was like, you know what? Once I'm in college, I'm done going to school. on Fridays. So it's nice because Friday's like my off day. I don't go to school and I don't work. Indiana University actually has like multiple campuses. The main one is in Bloomington, which is about 2.5 hours from where I live. And that's where I was originally supposed to go up until I think May, like very, very last minute did I change my mind. My best friend, she went to that campus that's 2.5 hours away. I'm going to the campus that's in my hometown. So it's still an Indiana University campus, just a lot smaller. So she moved in 2 Wednesdays ago. I wanted to go help her move in. So unfortunately, I didn't get off work till 2, but I ended up bringing her TV because she couldn't fit it in the car. I really don't drive super far away. So it was really like the first far drive I've ever taken that I drove it. My parents didn't go with me. It was just me and my boyfriend. And so I was super, super excited to go and, you know, have that college experience in a way, like being on the campus is what I mean. And I think when I got there, I didn't realize how emotional I was going to get. And I really had a hard time, and I kind of contemplated, sorry, I had to put these on because I cannot put these on and talk at the same time. Sorry guys, this eyeliner is being very difficult and I like just cannot bring myself to talk. That eyeliner was awful. Just a quick little disclaimer, it was this MILANI, the Stay Put eyeliner, the 17-hour wear. I just tested this in a full face of MILANI. I really liked it the first time I used it, but that was like way too hard to apply. I always do my wing first, so I like my wings to be really super crisp. When I tried to apply the product to my eye, it was not being pigmented, like it was not showing up. The wing would get messed up and it wasn't super crisp on the end. Getting rid of that because don't need to go through that again. Do you see how ugly that is? That is just awful. Like, oh my gosh, that was really, really, really bad. Very messy. These aren't perfect, but they're much better. Sorry, that was just terrible. Anyways, back to what I was saying. When I was down there, I got emotional, and I don't think it kind of shocked me how emotional I got about the whole thing. What I mean when I say that is I was like kind of contemplating if I had made the right decision. Am I still gonna get the full college experience without the big college feel, living in a dorm and meeting new people? And then I realized, you know, after throwing a pity party for myself, that I really just honestly think I would not have done very well in that setting. I mean, it was just really a lot of people. I would have had to give up YouTube, which is like the thing that I love more than anything. It keeps me sane. I wouldn't have been able to work in a nursing home, which that keeps me sane. And you know, I realize that some people can just go to school and you're probably like, and he said like, you're being a little over dramatic, but I know what I need to be the best version of myself. Even when I didn't work for like a month this year, I just did not feel like myself. I didn't feel whole. And I hope that makes sense. You know, maybe you don't feel the same way that I do, but you know, we all have something that we look to and go to as an outlet and something that, you know, makes us happy. And for me, that's YouTube, working, my family. I see my parents pretty much every single day, or I talk to them. Really struggling too because I never saw myself staying at home, and I realize I'm not at home. I live on my own, but I'm still in the same town that I grew up in. And you know, I promised myself that I would not stay here the rest of my life because there's just nothing here for me. And you know, I think that I kind of freaked out when I went up there because I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm never gonna leave my hometown. I'm gonna be stuck there. And I don't think that's the case. I think I was being really irrational. You know, is it gonna be easy to leave everything I know when I have to? I am where I'm supposed to be. And that's kind of the realization that I had to go through. I'm really glad that I let myself feel those emotions. We all question sometimes if we're making the right decision. And that's like one of the hardest things to go through, is thinking, shoot, did I make the right decision? And I think I did. I'm very happy with where I am. Is my life perfect? Absolutely not. But I really don't think it's supposed to be. And I think the reason I've been able to grow so much is because I know that if I ever need something, you know, my parents are a phone call away. And would they have been a phone call away in Bloomington? Yes, they would have been. But there's a big difference between 15 minutes and 2.5 hours. By the way, I don't know what this black thing is on my face. I popped it this morning and it's still there. Like, it was one of those pops that you feel it when you pop it. So I think I'm just gonna have to let it go away. One of the main reasons I chose to stay home at this campus is because they were gonna let me graduate a semester early. And if any of you are in college, you know how expensive college is. Graduating a semester early is going to save me thousands of dollars. And at first I was like, I don't wanna graduate early because I feel like that's just me trying to rush this experience. And I had to come to the realization it's not, because at the end of the day, whether you're at a big party school or you're at a little community college, I've met very few people who like school, like school. Not the experience of school, but school within itself. So I'm going to nursing school, that's the plan at least. In order to start nursing school next semester, I had to submit my grades and get all my prereqs done, which I have all of them done. And the last thing that was on my list was to take the TEAS test. And apparently this must be a new thing because my mom was a nurse and she didn't have to take it, or maybe it's just in Indiana. Let me know if you guys live out of state and if you know anything about that. Pretty much what it is, it's like a baseline test. Like, it's a very basic math portion, English portion, science portion, and then like a language arts portion. The only part that I really struggled with was the science. I only got like 40% of the questions right, which I felt really bad about at first. But then I looked it up and it said that the average person only gets like 30 to 35% of the science right. I did really good in the math. I got like a 90% in the math. I've always been very good at math because when I was younger, my dad tutored us like almost every day. And the science was actually hard because it was more anatomy based, and I took anatomy my junior year 2 years ago, and it was just a lot of specific stuff that I really wasn't brushed up on. And I'm in physiology now, so that was actually helpful because I took the TEAS test the first week. What we were doing the first week was just pretty much like intro stuff, so it was a good refresher. So that saved me. That was 170 questions. So I took that, and then I did submit my nursing application. If you are a person of prayer, please just send, you know, good vibes, and I will know about that at the end of the month. And it's my birthday month. It's just going to be a very good month. I can feel it. I'm like manifesting it. And I think like what also I've struggled with, especially since I've moved out, is like, you know, obviously I'm not gonna get too into it because I'm sure most of you do know what's going on like in the world. It's a very scary place right now. It's a very, very scary place. It's very unpredictable, and that's what scares me. I hate not knowing what's going to happen, especially in situations like this where it just changes every day. Prayers for everybody who's being impacted by anything that's going on in the world, which is pretty much everybody in one way or another. I actually am off the next 3 weekends, which usually I'm off every other weekend, but I took my birthday weekend off, which was my weekend to work, because I'm going to Chicago. That's what I wanted for my birthday. I couldn't think of anything else. 2-day trip up there, so that will be really nice and fun. Ooh, this is bright. This is why I test makeup more than once. Maybe I put too much on. I'm not really sure what we're gonna do. Probably just like shopping and fun stuff, you know, just trying to enjoy the nice weather while it's here. I don't know about you guys. I like fall, but I don't rush it because like it's gonna come. One of my new things is like living in the moment, not rushing life. The last week of August, I went on vacation to Myrtle Beach. It was okay. I mean, I was glad to get away because I hadn't been on vacation in so long. It was the first time I flew without my parents. Me and my boyfriend flew, and we met his family down there. So it was nice to just not be home. As much as I love home, trust me, I was ready to come home at the end of it. Second to last day, decided that we just wanted to go on a date by ourselves. So we found this really cute Italian restaurant that was so good. Like I can't even emphasize it to you. It was delicious. We go and we get dressed up and we have this nice little cute date, and then we get ice cream after. And I got these really good spaghetti and meatballs, but the meatballs were like this big. I'm not even kidding you. So I took those home to the hotel for leftovers. The next day I ate the leftovers. I ate the outside of the meatball, and then once I kind of started getting closer to the middle, it was like a little bit colder. And I'm like gonna be completely 100% honest with you guys. I was too lazy to get up and heat it up the rest of the way. I think I took one bite of the cold meatball, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. So the next morning, which was the morning we were supposed to leave and get back on the airplane. Guys, I'm not even kidding you. I have never been this sick in my entire life. And I really think it was from those meatballs. To tell you how sick I was, I vaguely remember anything from that day. We went to breakfast, and the only thing I remember about this breakfast place is it was like a very bright blue building. and we sat there and I was starving. So I ate all my food. We get to the airport and I'm like miserable as can be. And so we finally get on the plane. Being sick on a plane is not fun, but luckily I slept through most of it. It's all very foggy. Anyways, we get back and my mom picks us up from the airport and I like told her I just do not feel good. Like I feel awful. The airport that we had come from was about an hour away from my house. I make it the first like 50 minutes and I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, like I felt like I was going to die. I was like, Mom, I need to go, like take me to the gas station right now. So luckily we pull off on an exit. I'm honest with you guys. I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be perfect because you know what? We've all puked, okay? It's happened to all of us. So don't sit there and be like, oh, ew, that's so gross. You've done it. Okay, this powder is not good. I kind of felt better after, but at the same time, I really didn't. Like, you know, you usually feel better after you puke. I was so hungry and I was like super lethargic. I get home and my dad gives me some medicine and it just knocked me off of my feet, let me tell you. Like I went to sleep for a good 5 or 6 hours. I was just very sick for, I would say probably 3 or 4 days. The first day I really felt good was Thursday. I actually missed 2 days of work and I never miss work. It sucks because usually before I go on vacation, I always like to make sure like everything's clean, and I did not get the time to do everything that I wanted to do. My house was dirty. I was sick. I feel like, in my opinion, the worst part about being sick is that you're hungry and you know you can't eat, because everything I was eating was just going straight through me. Like I could not keep anything down. I told my mom and dad, I said, listen, I know that I can't eat anything, and I know that if I go to the ER, the only thing they're gonna do for me is give me fluid. 10 p.m. and my mom takes me to the ER. This specific night, the ER must have been really popping because we waited for 2 hours. I was like, okay, maybe it'll be my turn soon, because like all these people are like going ahead of me, and I was like, okay, it's got to be my turn here soon. Oh no, honey. I felt like when I was sick this time, the thing that helped me the most was being able to lay down. And so like obviously you can't lay down anywhere in an ER waiting room. Whoa, that's way more pigmented than what I thought it was gonna be. I asked my mom, I was like, just go up there and ask them how much longer they think it's gonna be, because at this point, like I'm honestly feeling way worse by sitting here. She goes up there and the guy's like, well, it's gonna be at least another hour and a half for the person that's in front of her. So I was like, no, forget it. I'm just going home. I just felt super, very, very helpless. I go back home and thank the Lord, I actually ended up feeling a lot better the next day. Like I felt like a completely new person. I did get a second piercing, which I don't know if you guys have noticed in my videos. I used to never wear earrings. And then I got these really, really pretty cross earrings for my first ones, and then just these regular ones for the back. The second ones hurt. I don't remember my first ones because I was a baby when I got them done. My boyfriend got his, so I was like, I'll get it done with you, blah, blah, blah. Because I actually wanted to get a tattoo while we were down there, because I've been wanting to get one, and I don't know what it is about vacations and people wanting to get tattoos, but I completely understand now. You know, like people come back from vacation with like 2 or 3 new tattoos, but I ended up not getting one because I was like, you know what? I am trying to rush this and I don't want to rush it. This is something that's going to be on my body for the rest of my life, and I want it to be something that I really love. On vacation, I actually started watching the show called Handmaid's Tale. Someone had told me about it and they were like, oh my gosh, you have to watch it. Like it's so good. And they were describing it to me and I was like, oh, that sounds like something I would love. So I actually ended up starting it. I do not like this highlighter either. We're just gonna make it work. But I started watching that, and that show is actually really, really, really good. I finished it. I'm waiting for the next season to come out. I also started watching a show called Dr. Death. If you guys have never heard about it, it's based on a true story. The surgeon who was like botching people killed 2 people, made his best friend a quadriplegic. The show pretty much talks about how these 2 doctors tried to revoke his license. And not to be ironic or anything, but it happened in Texas like 9 years ago. I didn't think that was very coincidental with everything going on. Let me know what shows you guys are loving, because I just finished Handmaid's Tale and I'm about to finish this show. I just started Chicago Med, which I was very hesitant to start because I'm such a like diehard Grey's Anatomy fan that I felt like me watching it was like betraying Grey's Anatomy, but it's actually pretty good. They're similar, but at the same time, they're not. All right, guys, this is the finished look. Probably the most chaotic makeup wise shop my stash I've ever done. That's just what's been going on with me. I am gonna start doing these once a month, like consistently again. I just kind of had to get all settled into my new space. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys do like these videos and want to hear just more about me outside of makeup, this is what I use these videos for, and I have a full playlist that I will link right up here for you guys to check out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.